Example 3, we're writing tangent theta plus cotangent theta in terms of sine and cosine. Okay, sine theta and cosine theta. This is a very common trick that you'll use. It's a very common skill in order to try to simplify expressions. You'll just rewrite stuff using sine and cosine, and then things will start falling out a lot of times. Okay, so tangent theta plus cotangent theta, we want to write those in terms of sine and cosine. And so maybe you already have this memorized, but we know tangent theta is sine theta over cosine theta. And so we should just be able to do sine theta over cosine theta plus, and then we know cotangent theta is cosine over sine. So cosine theta over sine theta. Make sure you put your theta in there. If you don't, it's wrong. So that seems to be what they're asking me to do. Write tangent theta plus cotangent theta in terms of sine theta and cosine theta. I did it, okay? But what we haven't done yet is simplify the expression. Usually they want you to combine fractions, or sometimes they don't want any fractions, but combine fractions. And so something we're going to have to do when we add fractions, if you were adding 1/3 plus 1/2, let's make it 2/5, okay? You'd have to get a common denominator. When we're adding fractions, we're going to have to get a common denominator. And so that's what we're going to have to do on this fraction. Okay? Get a common denominator, and that shouldn't be the hardest thing in the world to do, because like this problem right here, if I had 1/3 plus 2/5, we would just make sure this one has 5, and we'd make sure this one has 3, and then we go. They just need, one of them needs a 5, and one of them needs a 3, and they need a 5 and a 3. So over here, if this fraction has a cosine, we need to make sure it has a sine. Okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to multiply by sine theta over sine theta on that left side. But over there on the right side, this one has a sine theta, it's going to need a cosine theta. So multiply by cosine theta over cosine theta. So if you clean that up a little bit, sine theta times sine theta is sine squared theta over sine theta cosine theta. And cosine theta times cosine theta is cosine squared theta. And this one's over sine theta cosine theta. You have a common denominator now. And when you have a common denominator, you should be able to combine those two fractions into one. You know, imagine if you had 7/4 plus 3/4, you would know that you could combine that into 10/4. Okay? So we do the same thing. We just sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta, whatever that is all over that one denominator. Now, something hopefully at some point should pop out to you. Okay, that sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta is a very common formula that we'll see. Okay, go back and look at your identities. Sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta. Look, where have you seen that before? Is there a way to simplify sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta? What does sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equal? 1, right? Sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. That was that identity. And so what we have now is 1 over sine theta cosine theta. And so what they wanted me to do is they wanted me to write tangent theta plus cotangent theta in terms of sine and cosine. And we're going to have something like this.